Cirrus Aircraft is expanding into a new design center in Duluth and reports it's planning to hire 80 additional engineers over the next 3 years. The move, according to Cirrus, is being made in order to develop what the company calls the next generation of aircraft. The company will be renovating the former AAR building at Duluth International Airport, will transform it into their innovation center. The building has been empty since May 2020. The building sale will save the city over $600,000 annually in maintenance, operating, and tax expenses.
Now, Cirrus, they're the ones that have the parachute built in, right?
Correct, yes.
Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, you get the feeling that the dum-dums turned off their mic and did their own little show there
I couldn't
while we
hear
were
people talking
actually trying to
Okay,
do
here's what
a
happened.
podcast
Rook,
here.
let us.
Full disclosure.
Let us.
So my boss,
I'm your boss.
yes, you are. You're one of my bosses. There's many here. My boss said, we need you there. There's an airplane pull. There's a competition at Sun Country where different departments pull the airplane and they try to get the best time. He said, I need you there by 2:15 today. Can you be there? I said, yes. Joe said, what are you doing? I said, I'm making plans. He said, for what? So I told him. He said, what about this show? I said, it's wonderful. What about this show? It's wonderful. So
Why don't you leave now so you can go tie a rope
I
around
got
your
so
neck
five-
and
I got
pull the
5 more
damn
minutes to be
plane.
smart.
When you're upset about a plane maybe not being on time, we can cite the fact that you guys are having a tug of war
You
contest.
see it out on the runway being pulled by a rope.
yeah, that should
Yeah.
scare you. But this
That's
is for
not,
charity. This is a
yeah.
charitable
Ah.
thing. This is for charity.
What is
Sure
this?
Let's,
I think it's despicable.
Yeah.
What he put the Packers through last year is not.
How'd
Oh, yeah.
that get on there?
Don't play that. That's for the other station.
Well, why is it
the
on
other
here?
station.
Don't worry.
Get rid of it.
Hurricane Fiona blasted the Turks and Caicos Islands today as a Category 3 storm after devastating Puerto Rico, where most people remained without electricity or running water. Hurricane conditions were slamming Grand Turk, the small British territory's capital island, this morning after the government imposed a curfew and urged people to flee flood-prone areas. The storm centered just 10 miles from the island, with hurricane force winds extending up to 30 miles from the center. Fiona, not expected to threaten the U.S. mainland. The forecast says storm should weaken before running into easternmost Canada over the weekend.
Did we have anybody run down there and toss them some paper towels?
God, you read my mind.
Mhm.
Earlier, that was my first thought.
Yeah.
But, you know. A leading expert in Russia's prison system, Olga Romanova, says the Kremlin's latest recruitment tactic in the war on Ukraine is something out of her worst nightmares. The head of Vladimir Putin's shadowy private army, Wagner Group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has been taking trips to Russian prison camps and enlisting convicted criminals to fight in Ukraine, according to accounts from military analysts and videos that have emerged. According to Romanova, who has dedicated the past 15 years of her life to monitoring Russia's prison population as the head of the organization Russia Behind Bars, the recruitment campaign is targeting some of Russia's, what she calls, worst criminals. Putin's plan is to recruit at least 50,000 convicts, send them to Ukraine to fight. As
I
part
don't
of
like
their
that
work.
idea.
That's a really bad
I
idea.
don't either. Yeah, and they're from what I read, they were murders and
Sure.
rapists. And
Well, how's that any
And the
different?
guys they got can do that.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. How's that any different from their other?
So,
a straight man, and I don't even know it. A one-time White House lawyer under President Donald Trump warned him late last year that Trump could face legal liability if he didn't return government materials he had taken with him when he left office. The lawyer, Eric Hirschman, sought to impress upon the former president the seriousness of the issue and the potential for investigations and legal exposure if he did not return the documents, particularly classified material. The account of the conversation is the latest evidence that the former president had been informed of the legal perils of holding on to the material. Despite his legal woes, the former president remains, Trump said on Monday he would have gotten a better seat than President Biden if he'd have been at the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden were placed in the 14th row of Westminster Abbey's south transept, only 7 rows from the very back. Trump took the opportunity to mock the president on Truth Social. Said if I were president, they wouldn't have sat me back there. But
Oh, go
Yes.
ahead. I thought you were done. Sorry. Go
no, but Biden's position was decided by something else because the family, the British family, got to sit in the front.
I was waiting for a president or something to interject. We have some new word salad from the vice president, if you're
Oh.
interested.
Okay.
This is Vice President Harris talking about an investment into community banks.
All right.
So we invested an additional $12 billion into community banks because we know community banks are in the community and understand the needs and desires of that community as well as the talent and capacity of community.
Sure.
So that's why they did it,
Community.
Joe.
That's
Keyword.
fantastic.
Keyword community.
Yeah, I would think so. That's fantastic.
12
God,
bill.
I love
huh?
her. She's a bright spot.
Very insightful.
Yeah,
12
bright
bill.
spot.
That's a lot.
In a new study, which looks at activity tracker data from 78,500 people, walking at a brisk pace for about 30 minutes a day led to a reduced risk of heart disease, cancer, dementia, and death, compared with walking a similar number of steps but at a slower pace.
Well-
Are you a fast walker, Joe?
Yeah, and I'm going to give you that phrase again.
What qualifies as a brisk pace?
Salvator ambulando. It is solved by walking.
Does that mean you have to walk like number 2 is imminent
Yes, you have to walk fast.
with pinched cheeks?
No,
Here's what it means. The average highest pace for a brisk walk was between 80 and 100 steps per minute. So you'd have to time yourself to see how many you had. And those people were healthier than folks who walked at a similar amount every day, but at a
Steps.
much slower pace.
that was
Okay.
his note
Does that
for
make sense?
yesterday.
That's note from Patrick.
Why don't you?
Steps.
I don't think these three were able to listen to Monday Night Sports Talk. What was the number
Speaking
one
of
topic
walking.
that Royce you wanted to?
Pat has reached the stage where he believes that he would rather walk upstairs than downstairs because when you're walking downstairs, you can't stop.
Right.
When you walk
Breaks.
upstairs, you can stop.
Stop and rest.
So he had quite a breakdown of walking up and down steps.
To the point where Joe didn't know when
Yeah,
the
well, he
transition
lost
of
me at some
topics
point,
were
yeah.
happening at one point. This is topic 2, Joe.
Yeah, he actually wrote all this down.
Steps.
Steps.
Speaking of walking,
Yeah, go tie a rope around your
Yeah.
and pull an airplane.
Yep.
Around your what?
Thanks,
Wow.
Johnny.
That would be
Yeah.
remarkable.
I'm telling everybody.
Yeah.